All right, so bike stuff. This is Clunker related for you guys. All right, I'm never gonna get around to finishing all these bikes. It's just not gonna happen. So Clunker stuff for those of you who are in the LA area. This is what's going on. This bike right here, I'm planning on keeping and finishing. This is some kooky rare frame. We don't know what it is. The camo paint job's amazing. It's pretty cool. This bike is for sale. This is a 1983 or 84 Schwinn. Now, a lot of people are going to go, that's impossible. Schwinn closed their doors in 1982. Right. This is what you call the Tennessee Schwinn. All right. I think that it was Tennessee, but it was constructed by Murray from actual Schwinn parts. That's what throws everybody off on this thing. It's all Schwinn, the Schwinn frame, electroforged head tube, everything's Schwinn. Everything's Schwinn correct. In 82, when Schwinn sold everything, Murray bought out all the parts and assembled bikes for about 2 years. And that's it. Those are the last of the American-made Schwinns. So it's actually kind of a rare bike. And it's got a really cool Akisu heavy-duty BMX fork on there. And it's got the varsity stem and a cool pair of cruiser bars. It's very comfortable. Front brake works great. It's an old Diacomp. And it's all tuned and running great. So I'm asking $500 for that bike. It's not an easy bike to come by. This bike right here, I don't know that I'm going to get to it. It's really cool. It's a 29er. So you guys know Mr. Tick Bicycle Products, Chad. He did this frame. Interesting thing about this frame is I picked this bike up. It was a cruiser. It's a open road Montgomery Ward here. I forget, what is this? Who makes this thing? I don't think it's Huffy, but it could be. But it's when they were made pretty good back in the late 70s. And I picked this up in Los Angeles here, downtown LA. No. Crenshaw area. Real nice lady, old black lady. She had this in her garage. Matter of fact, it had this Carlisle tire on it, which is, that's super cool. Carlisle tire alone you could sell for a good amount of money. But the rims were all rusted out on it. And yeah, so I built it up as a clunker. And I sold it to a guy, and I sold it for not enough money. It was a badass build, and an expensive build, but it was very cool. And then it turns out this guy brought this thing to Chad and had him do the rear end so it would work with disc brake. He's got all this done, brazed. It was all done in a jig. All the spreading is pro. It's reinforced. It's very well done. This is done so you can put straps through here, put your cables. It's got a boss under here, all right? So you can run your brake and gear cables. Right now it's set up for a 1x10. This is loose because I haven't shrunk down the bolts on here to make that tight. But that's what I was going to run. I think that's a 44. And this is a 10-speed cassette on here with the proper derailleur and everything else. So this bike, I just don't know that I'm going to get it done. I'd like to. If I was to put the time in to build it all, I would want to enjoy it and probably not sell it. So I think if it was done, and I have all the parts to complete it. It's not that big of a deal, really. But if it was done and if I took the time to have it powder coated and painted, I think this is easily a bike that's probably worth about $3,000. I know a lot of you guys are like balking at that, but I wouldn't take less than that if it was finished. So the work alone on that frame, I don't even know, $500, $600, $700 worth of work or more, and plus the wheels and everything else. So I think as it sits right now, even with the Brooks saddle, I'd probably let this go for $1,200. if you're interested. Again, a lot of you are going, that's crazy, but that's just what I'm saying. Here's an old uh, Starliner frame. This is a pretty complete bike. Fenders aren't original. I would take those off. And I would sell this for, I don't know, 200 bucks right now. I think that's pretty cheap just to get that out of my hair. And the 62, 1 year only, it's a 62, 63, but they only made them for a year. Double straight bar, rare frame here. This is not something I'm looking to sell. All the parts are on it. It's an old Funk fork, elastomer fork that works. Manitou bought them out. Where's I got this? Vintage tough neck stem on there. That's being built as a 10-speed mountain bike. And I'm probably going to hold on to that. But you guys know what's going on with that. That's a kind of a, what you would call, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now. But, a frame that everybody wants. That's this very desirable frame. And it does have bosses on it for cables and everything. So, again, not looking to sell that. But if you threw a bunch of money at me, I might let it go. This is a 1950s Columbia that was all put in a jig. And it's set up right now. It's got a Schwinn fork that I had bosses brazed on for front cantilever brakes. I've run this frame before. I love it. It's a very nice, comfortable frame. This was purchased in North Carolina. Shipped it back here. It's running a 3-piece crank bottom bracket converter there. It's got a 10-speed cassette on the rear. This was going to be another 1x10. I was saving this here for myself, but again, it's possible. Of course, I got a bunch of cool frames in here. I got a Huffman straight bar over here. And this is a 41 frame here that I was going to do a military tribute clunker out of. So, look at this. I don't even remember this. I got a small red varsity frame here. That'll work. That's a great clunker build frame. So, I'm just saying, I got this bike here. This is completely done. It's a 20-inch frame with 20-inch wheels with a 26-inch fork, 5-speed, set up for an adult. So as an adult, you could ride that comfortably. It's very comfortable to ride. You guys have seen this before. Got the GT piston stem. I've got the MX loaf seat on here. It stops, it goes, it rides great. I'd let that one go pretty cheap, maybe. I don't know. I don't know about that one. $700-800 maybe, something like that. I've got all kinds of parts. I have a Schwinn Latour, very rare frame. I started pinching the rear chain stays for a fat tire. And you guys know that's a rare, that's a lugged frame that is chromoly. So it's very light and strong. I was going to do a real cool clunker build out of that. And I have all the parts for that too somewhere in here, for the most part. For the most part. Wheels and everything else. So look, if you're in Los Angeles, you're a clunker guy, you got some coin you want to spend, you should hit me up. All right? Mike at MikeZDesign.com. Send me an email. I got a 7-speed Nexus hub up here, laced to a wheel, matching set of wheels up here that I was going to put on one of these frames. There's a lot going on. I just don't know that I'm going to get to all of it. I'm not getting any younger. I've got enough bikes. So maybe it's time to let some go. I mean, the 62 double straight bar is not a frame I want to sell. So if you really want that, especially the way it's set up right now with all those parts alone are worth a ton of money. Honestly, that's like $2,000 sitting there in my mind. I don't know. Also got the Chad bars on it. These are the Brando bars. He doesn't make any of these anymore. Super comfy. It's got the nickels. It won't focus, but it's got the nickels welded to the end of the bars. You guys know. You guys know what this all is. Again, forks, bars, wheels, stems, levers. I mean, crank sets. It's all here. So, everything must go. I'm just not giving it away. Contact me, Mike at MikeZDesign.com. I'll post this video on my Bikeopolis page on Facebook. You guys will see it. Some of you guys will give me some grief for what numbers I'm throwing out there. I don't know. It's off the top of my head. Um, but I'm just putting it out there. I've got enough already. And that's it. I'm done talking. Have a great day. Be kind to one another. I'll catch you in the next one.